Okay, so 1.5 is probably everybody's favorite story problems. And we're just going to talk about how to set them up, convert from the model that they give you into an algebraic model that you can then solve using your calculator or solving by hand. Okay, so here would be an example type problem. Okay, again, you don't have to write this down. It'll be on a video if you wanted to ever write it down, but you can just kind of follow along with the math of it and the labeling. So it says an airport in California and New York are 3,000 miles apart. If a plane leaves California and travels to New York at 200 miles per hour, while another one leaves New York and travels to California at 250 miles per hour, okay, in how much time will pass before these planes pass one another? Okay. So if you wanted to solve for this, what you're going to need to know is a general distance equation or formula, which is distance equals rate times time. Okay, you should be familiar with this. It's a very common one that you should know about. Okay, but if you're looking at this relationship, distance 1, distance 2, rate 1, rate 2, and then the time that they fly, because you're finding when they cross each other, is going to be exactly the same. So we can leave that as just the t. Okay, so the overall distance is going to be the distance 1 plus the distance 2. Well, what can we express distance 1 as? Distance 1 is the first rate times the time, and distance 2 can be expressed as the second rate times the time. Okay, so this becomes our algebraic model. Okay, it allows us to model that situation with variables in mathematical sense or relationship. And what you would then do after you identify an algebraic model is plug in the values that you know for each variable. So what is the total distance? D, 3,000. What is R1, the rate of the plane leaving California? Is 200 miles per hour. T is our unknown. And we're going to add our rate 2, which is the plane leaving New York. 250 times, again, t is our unknown. And so now you can solve this for t. If you're using your calculator, you don't even need to combine your like terms here. You have your equation, you can just solve. So we can say solve 3,000 is equal to 200t plus 250t, and we want to solve for t, so comma t. And that's going to give us our answer, again, here, 20/3 is what t is equal to. Okay, so how can we find how much time has passed? If I ask you to enter the number of hours and the number of minutes. Okay, so if we took 20 divided by 3 in decimal form, we get 6.6666. Okay, so we know that the hours is 6. Does that mean that the minutes is 66 or 67? No. What you need to do when you're working with decimals and converting to hours and minutes, okay, decimals are a base 10. The minutes or hours are base 60. Right? So it's 60 minutes equals 1 hour, unlike 10 ones equals 110 or whatever in the counting system. So you need to be very careful. Lots of people are tempted to put whatever the decimal is as the minute. But all that means is if you remove the number of hours, so if we subtract a 6 so that we're just left with that decimal part, the number of minutes in each hour, what we can do is we can multiply the decimal part by, again, whatever number of minutes there are in 1 hour. So what number is that? 60. So if we take that fraction of 2/3 or 0.6666 continuing, and we multiply it by the number of minutes in an hour, it allows us to find that this number of minutes, or the fractional part of the hour, is 40 minutes. So the point 666 continuing is equivalent to 40 of the 60 minutes in an hour.